In our next episode, we are talking to the Prince of Christmas himself, actor Jonathan STUDDARD. And you will not want to miss this episode. We are talking to John about his journey in Hollywood, his latest Christmas film, A Royal Christmas Tale, that premiered this past Sunday, December 14th. And we're going to talk Christmas, dances with films, and what advice he has for all upcoming actors. So stay tuned at Hollywood at Ovation with Jorge Ameer.
Prince Alexander!
Oh dear. Are we undercover?
No, Patrick is undercover.
I could be him. If we're gonna pull this off, we're gonna have to get better at being me. You, my friends, are gonna have to do much better job at being me.
Stop it, both of you!
I'm Alexander. No, I'm Alexander. He's Patrick.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Hollywood at Ovation with Jorge Ameer. And today we have a very special guest. We have Jonathan STUDDARD, and Jonathan is a prolific actor that has done over 70 feature films. Jonathan, welcome.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
So Jonathan, tell me a little bit about your background, where you're from, and how did you get to Los Angeles?
How much time do we have?
Let's keep that in a couple of minutes. Just give it a general overview.
So I think my introduction to film came from my parents just trying to keep me busy during summer programs and things like that, with musical theater, just any kind of after-school programs and things like that. And little did I know that later that was going to evolve into a career path. So that's the very short answer.
So very interesting. While we were talking, you mentioned that you actually studied physics in college.
Correct.
And how does somebody go, because that's a very scientific career, how does somebody go from physics to the arts? Why would somebody go from physics to the arts?
Well, so my family growing up, my parents were psychiatrists, but they always had this deep love for culture and the arts and things like that. And so from an early age, we were dragged out to, myself and my siblings, we were dragged out to operas. And like when I say my parents were trying to introduce us to culture, it was like, oh, we're gonna try to do this. Now as a kid, super hyperactive, I could not sit through those. They were awful. I was screaming and crying and all that kind of stuff. But the intent to try to educate me was always there. So I've always had this interesting dichotomy of education, both academic, logical processing, and then the creative mind as well. So that's been most of my life.
So both your parents are psychiatrists, both of them?
They are both now. They're both psychiatrists.
How do you grow up with parents that are psychiatrists? Like, what's that like?
I don't have anything to compare it to otherwise, but I will say
Did they like overanalyze you?
So that's funny. Everyone wants to go to this overanalyzation. I'm sure they did. I'm sure that is one of the things that they naturally did, but it doesn't come down to like berating your child in that kind of fashion. Whatever they did in terms of analyzing me as a kid as to what I was going through and stuff like that, they also turned this into a beautiful exploration of myself. So they would sit down, they would ask me questions and help me discover a lot of things and become self-aware. And I think the height of any kind of communication from psychiatry is about becoming self-aware, both of your problems, what's ailing you, or how you're influencing others, and whether you like that result. So I actually really I've made a lot of peace, but it took a good portion of my 20s to come to peace with it.
So I've actually met Jonathan at Dances with Films, I think 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah, a couple of years ago, yeah.
And he presented, there was a film that he starred in called Bone Cold. Here's a clip.
Daddy, is your job hard? Do you get scared?
No.
Let's do what we do.
Target, Theodore Burek. You'll hike through the woods, take out the target, come right back the way you came.
It's American issued.
Was there a team sent before us?
Did you hear that?
Someone creeping up behind us?
No. It's something else.
What the f-
What do you want to do, John?
Thin the herd.
Hey! One shot, brother.
One shot.
So, continuing with the story, I moderated this film at Dances with Films New York.
You did very well.
Thank you, sir. And that's how we got to hang out in New York and talk. And you know, he was telling me about his prolific movie career, but actually his prolific movie career apparently started after the filming of Bunko, which was done years ago, because of course it takes several years before you make a movie and it's presented at a festival.
Correct.
And your career took off like really quickly, like 70 films, and you seem to be like a lifetime star. Christmas films, where look at that phrase, this guy is like the Prince of Christmas, right? And you're probably the guy that is gonna save, like, I don't know, Cinderella or Snow White or something like that. And I noticed that you have a lot of those kind of roles. They're like the lead roles where you're like the object of affection, or somebody is stalking you or obsessing over you, right? What do you think of that? Like, what do you
Of
think
like
of those?
falling into that category?
Is that something that bothers you? Do you even think about it, or is it like, oh, not another one?
No, I just love being on set, and I just love working, and
Okay.
I love telling stories and stuff. And I will say, in the beginning, it was just the excitement of booking. You know, it's oh, fine, I booked something. This is really cool. And then another one would come in, another booking would come, another booking would come, and so I was just jumping from one to the next.
Well, hold on. Let's stop a little
Yeah.
bit, because that just okay. Nobody comes here and like starts to pursue acting, and like in 7 years book 70 films plus, and then like one after another. How does that happen? Is that because you got a good agent? Is that, I don't know, because of your look? I mean, but then even with your look, you have to have been exposed to the right people so they can see you, find you, and then want to work with you.
So, I mean, this is a great question. This is what I'll say, is that I think I always revert back to manifest, journal, pray, whatever you do believe in. For me, when I finally surrendered to that, so on my 32nd birthday, I specifically had a conversation with myself that I was going to pull what I call, I'm going to pull a Queen of England. I'm going to marry the throne. So I decided that I was going to start courting and I was going to marry acting. And ever since then, I've been full-time.
Okay, so hold on one second. Let me make sure I get all of this. So at your 32nd birthday,
Yep.
are you afraid to say how old you are now, or?
I'm 41.
So you're 41 now. So that was, what, eight years ago or so? Nine? So what, you wrote it in like the mirror that you wake up in the morning every morning, or you wrote it down, or?
There were three things that I did. Now, and again, this is part of like the esoteric world, a lot of the world that we don't understand. Now, whether or not that was the dominating influence over me going from not working to working, I couldn't tell you. But I will say it doesn't hurt to try. But basically I would wake every morning, and I was super depressed at the time. I was a struggling actor, nothing was happening. My agents were getting ready to fire me.
Did you change your agents, or?
No, I didn't
You
get
have the same agent?
I have the same agent. Now we have since left the agency where we first met, and my agent has now since opened his own agency. But I have been loyal to him for the last 10 years.
As I'm sure he has been loyal to you
Oh,
as
100%.
well, because
100%.
he took you with him,
100%.
started his business, and now you're thriving, and I'm assuming he's thriving with you. So you're both kind of elevating each other, right?
100%. We come up
And-
together.
So do you think that's part of the secret of your success?
Yes and no, only because that kind of loyalty only happens when it's tested. And it takes a lot to get to that point where you have that kind of relationship with somebody. And so that's why I say it's yes and no. I was starting to work a lot before he and I had that loyalty. And it was only because I started working a lot that, because he was getting ready to drop me, because I wasn't working.
Like he announced this to you, he verbalized it to you?
He told me later. He was like, John, we got together as an agency. We're like, we got to cut all the people that aren't working and not getting auditions. And so they were about to drop me.
So he kept quiet until, like, he kind of stood it out to see what was going to happen.
Well, no, not even. They had the meeting 1 week, and then going into the next week, all of a sudden I got an audition. And then I got another one. And then I got another one. So it literally went from like completely dried up desert for me. And that's why I say, whether it's manifesting or not, whether it's God and prayer, or whether it's universe, whatever you want to call it, but just I empower anybody watching, try it. Just try it. But all I can tell you is they had the meeting, they were getting ready to drop me, and going into the next week, all of a sudden it was audition, then booking, audition, I booked 4 commercials in one day. And Peter, my agent now, called me up and was like, John, what are you doing? We were getting ready.
That's what I want to know. What were you doing?
Well, so
were you eating something special?
No.
Well, I mean, should we go to Ralph's and like buy something to eat, like asparagus? I don't know. What is it?
No. So the 3 things that I believe had the biggest impact, which is why I say manifesting and directing your mind and all that kind of stuff, and empowering the universe, God, everything to support you, is I would wake up in the morning, and for the first hour of every morning, I would hike Griffith Park, and I would listen to.
You would hike Griffith Park? That sounds. I mean, I tried to hike in Griffith Park and got lost.
Well, yeah, it's huge. It's huge, but that's why
you
you
go to the Hollywood sign.
Yeah, that's why you can spend an hour doing it, because you get lost. But you put on something.
I do Runyon Canyon amateur.
Oh,
yeah.
Runyon is great though. You can do Runyon. But put on something orchestral, like a soundtrack, like Hans Zimmer or something like that. And no audio or no like verbal, so not with lyrics and things like that, because then you end up just listening to the lyrics. But you put on this like the Dune soundtrack or something epic, like a movie score.
Something that would elevate you.
Yeah, and then I would start for the first hour of every morning. I would go through what I wanted to see for my life, what I was grateful for, and this was part of the surrender. I was surrendering. I was like, if I'm gonna do this, if I'm gonna marry the throne, what if it was this easy? Which I asked myself, what if it is this easy as manifesting? Or what if it is this easy to commit to being grateful every single day, figuring out what I want to experience with my life, and then declaring it to the universe? What if it is that easy? And I started doing that every single day for the first hour when I would wake up. And then all of a sudden, 3 months later, I was the top booker of my agency. So now there were 3 things, as I said, right? So that's 1. The other 2 were at night, I would journal, where I would set a timer for 10 minutes. Attitude of gratitude, where every single sentence starts
Attitude of gratitude.
100%. Because I was depressed and I was miserable, and I had
Like clinically depressed?
Probably. My parents were really worried about me.
Were you making a living doing something else, like Harrison Ford? Were you like a carpenter or something, or you were
I was
just
on
focusing?
unemployment. I was barely surviving on unemployment.
Thank God for the state of California, right?
Yeah. So it's tough when you're in that place. It's learned helplessness, and it's really challenging to get out of. But I would set a timer for 10 minutes. Every sentence starts with "I'm grateful for" or "Thank you for," or "I could be grateful for." And then I would write that for 10 minutes, and then 5 minutes as to why I deserved to be successful.
So in other words, you would practice a lot of self-care.
A lot of self-care, a lot of rewiring of my brain and my heart and my body.
Okay. Now, here's the thing, though, because all of this happened like very fast for you. Now, you have a certain look. Do you think that might have had something, and let's be honest, because, I mean, you know yourself, right? I know myself, and I know my type. You know your type, right?
Well, so I'm going to
Did
say
you-
this.
Yeah.
Everyone has a type.
Yeah.
Every single person has a type. Every single person has a category that they fit into. And every single person has a category that is going to work for them and against them. So it doesn't matter what I look like. It doesn't matter what you look like. There is a role out there for all of us.
But did you try to make your look work for you? Or did you dismiss that?
No, I dismissed it. Because every single time, like, when I first got into Hollywood, I was like, oh, I want to do the action star, and I want to do all this stuff. So I was like working out and trying to do all this stuff. And then every single audition, if we got feedback, which is rare, as you know.
Very rare.
It's so rare. We'd get feedback like, oh, he's too pretty. We need someone who's a little bit more like average and everyday.
Let me ask you, was that a problem for you?
100%.
That you were too pretty?
100%.
And people were like, and that's what your agent would come back and relay to you? Like, sorry, it's just...
He's like, they
did
got
you
back
try to
to us.
uglify yourself? Is that
Yes.
a thing? I don't know.
No, but like, regardless of what our type is, right?
Yeah.
Everyone is going to either fit into like a lead, the best friend, the comedic relief.
That's true.
There are all these archetypes, and we're all going to play into it.
Yeah.
And sometimes we can cross over. And I was so obsessed with the craft and like I just want to be seen as a good actor.
Mm-hmm.
So I would go out for like all these other expansive roles, but then people would say you're not going to be the best friend. Sorry, John, you can't be a best friend because you're either competing with, like, it's just a whole thing. So my point is, it doesn't matter what you look like. It doesn't matter what your archetype is.
Mm-hmm.
It matters how you're marketing yourself to get those jobs. And then you can always transition. So it's heavily worked against me, as I'm sure everybody's category has worked against them. But there is a way to make it work for you.
But Jonathan, how do you go into a casting room, and I'm sure you've experienced this before, and you go into a room and you see like 20 different guys and they all look like you?
Well, but they look better than me. It's like-
Exactly.
so when I was younger, it was like, I'm not 6 foot. And I
Okay.
would walk in and like, if I'm gonna compete against like a model or compete against like a traditional leading man,
Mm-hmm.
I was never just never in the space to compete against those guys.
Okay.
So, but I was not hideous enough to be anything else.
Mm-hmm.
But I wasn't good enough or better enough to be like, it was just.
But you have a nice personality, though, because I mean, somebody must say that, because a lot of these gorgeous people, as you want models, what have you, they're either there's nothing there, very shallow. They're like literally there's nothing there other than the look. Like sometimes you wish they did not even open their mouth, because
Right.
sometimes some people are just better just be looked at,
Right.
and they start talking and it's like, okay, you're an ugly person.
You're like, no.
Yeah.
Well, so I will say a big thing for me, people wanted me to be something that I didn't know how to be.
Which was what?
They wanted me to be the leading man, but I only knew how to be the youngest of four, the goofy kid, the best friend, the comedic relief.
Okay.
And so over the course of the last like 8 years or so, I had to really work on like, how do I be the a-hole? How do I be the bad guy? How do I be the romantic lead? I had to develop and fine-tune that craft and that skill set, because I just wanted to be like the fun, goofy kid, and I wanted my personality to win.
Mm-hmm.
But in the audition room, your personality doesn't matter. Now, if I was going into music, sure, or being an influencer, then sure, my personality matters, and I can massage that.
What does it matters during the audition?
During an audition?
Yeah.
No, in my opinion, your personality doesn't matter. They don't care if you're a nice person. They care if you're professional. Your personality, and as far as I'm concerned, someone's personality is low on the list.
I heard you say they care if you're professional.
They care
What
if you're
does that
professional.
mean?
There's professionalism, I think, trumps being a great person. If you can go in, you know your lines, you study, you understand your craft, you understand the decorum of an audition room, or let's say a self-tape, which a lot of things are self-tapes now, versus if you walk in. Like, there's nothing I find more disheartening since I've started doing casting and producing and things like that. When an actor comes in and they're like, oh my God, hi, yeah, oh, it's so great to meet you, blah, and they're like doing all this stuff, and they're like, okay, are we ready?
And you
Okay.
can see through that.
You can see through it, and they're
Yeah.
like, okay, and action. How dare you? And you're like, I'm so taken out of it because you came in with this personality.
Yeah.
And I don't care about your personality. What I do care about is, can you be this character, and are you making it easy for me to cast you?
What would have worked? What should they? This is a good moment. We're good talking points. What should they have done that would have been appropriate?
Come in as the character. The greatest thing, in my opinion, that any casting director can say is that when you walked in, it was already yours. If they can say that, if they can say, you're this character, period. Not you came in and showed us that you were the coolest, friendliest, like, upbeat. Isn't it going to be so fun on set with you? As far as I'm concerned, which was told to me in acting class. So I really tried to turn it up. No.
So don't even introduce yourself. Just as soon as you go through that door.
No, still introduce yourself.
Or you don't introduce yourself at the end.
But introduce yourself like I'm Jonathan Stoddard. But if it's a drama, I'm gonna go, or whatever the character is, I'm gonna go in as that character and say my name is Jonathan Stoddard, and then I can parlay that into the scene.
So if you're like a killer, then you would go in with a menacing act, and then menacingly introduce yourself as such. Yes. No.
Yes. But I do want to say, I mean, obviously, be mindful. Like, do this with some finesse. I mean, don't come in with prop weapons, or don't come in, you know, as a complete mean person. Because even with, like, to be a killer doesn't mean you're scowling.
That's true.
So to be a killer, there's still...
You can be a smooth criminal.
There can be a smooth criminal. There can be... there's a certain charm because you have to be able to get your killers. So understanding, or get your people so that you can, you know, do whatever. So it's important to understand your character and then what side of your character you're going to show them so that you can easily transition into the scene.
So you said you got into producing and casting. Talk to us a little bit about that.
I think it was just a natural byproduct of working so much.
You just decided, I want to start doing my thing. Finding my own material, producing my own material. Is that what happened?
Well, I just wanted to start connecting people with other people. And because I was jumping from set to set, and I was just really blessed to be working so much, I had people would start asking me, hey, do you know a good DP? Do you know a good set designer? How do you feel about, like, you worked with this actress or this actor? Like, how do you feel about that? Or them, or anything. And then I started connecting more and more people, and then I would have a little bit more of like a location involvement and stuff like that, and then all of a sudden it's turned into producing. Now the challenge, right, is being a producer means you could almost be anything. So I am not, I'm gonna put it here first, because hats off to all the producers out there that are working tirelessly in pre-production, production to post. And I am not that kind of a producer.
Okay.
So those producers, they are the ones that they are the heartbeat of the movie and the backbone of the movie, and I will forever, always be grateful and humble to you guys.
So you're more of a creative producer.
So I'm a creative producer. I help introduce people and facilitate connections and help facilitate the development of certain aspects of film. And so that's an important distinction, because producing really could mean anything.
Well, let's talk. You seem to be, I'm not sure if they gravitate towards you or that's your energy or what it is, but you do a lot of Christmas films.
I do a lot.
Ready? Are you okay?
Your radiance, it's breathtaking.
Here, let me. For a moment there, I forgot you weren't actually Patrick.
What makes you think I don't know how to pick a lock? Can I borrow your necklace?
Sure.
Very astute of you, Louis. Just don't understand the importance of me being there. Nobody hardly knows who I am or even recognizes me anymore. Please, there's no need for that. Thank you.
Yes, Your Highness.
If you could, just stamp my passport.
Yes, of course.
No, not on my face.
I love Christmas. Now, I am obsessed with, everybody who knows me knows I love the holidays. As far as I'm concerned, my holidays start from August through January. Do you like Christmas? I mean,
I do.
That'd be
I do.
important to
I like
that. Do you
Christmas.
like Christmas? Because I mean, you make all these Christmas holiday films.
I celebrate Christmas a lot, so yeah, I really like it.
But you probably celebrate it all year round if you're making all of
Yeah.
these Christmas films. Because when do these Christmas? A lot of them happen in the winter to give that winter thing, or do they just build a winter set? Like,
They build it. It could
Yeah?
happen anywhere, or they CGI it, or they put cotton on the ground.
but are
right
you
there.
shooting like Christmas films all year round, and then
At various times throughout the year? Yeah,
so it's Christmas for you like all the time?
all the time. I like it.
Here he is. The adoption is complete and he is officially yours.
We got a certified letter in the mail today from the leasing office. Another notice about an increase in the security deposit.
There's already a firm offer on the table from another client for this property.
I'm not leaving. So many people don't even consider adopting a homeless pet.
We do our very best to find them a new forever home.
Oh, please excuse me. I'm so sorry.
It's all right.
You're in charge here at the animal rescue?
It's on a property that has a 10-year lease, way beyond our current financial capacity.
Imagine your facility would be quite open to a sizable donation.
This is from the Royal House of Vallenberg.
Most people address me as Your Royal Highness Prince Edward of Vallenberg.
You're a prince.
I liked you from the moment I bumped into you.
What brings you here so far from home?
I have a small investment here.
Once we announce the project, property value for that whole area is going to go through the roof.
Is this not the perfect...
Wow. And then talk to us about, you just did or you're in the middle of doing a series, is that right?
Yeah, I'm shooting a series in Toronto at the moment. So we shot the first 6, and the response.
And you took a
has
plane to
been-
come and see me just for this podcast, just for you guys.
Just for you guys. And then I fly back a couple days from now to shoot the next 4.
Wow. And this is a faith-based series, is
It
that
is,
correct?
yeah.
Now tell us a little bit about it. Like what happens in this show?
So it's.
What's it called? What's the name of it so we can look for it?
Yeah, first and foremost, it's called Crossroads Springs. My character is named James Hamilton, and I play a Chicago pastor that comes back to the ranch. I grew up on a ranch, but answered my calling away from the family. And so my dad has an injury. I come back, kind of get reintroduced to some of the challenges on the ranch, and the show is about fixing what's broken and integrating the idea of calling versus responsibility and how to take care of your family and your home.
Yes. What has been your best, your favorite experience working on a film? Which film was it and why?
So this is a tough one because I have my film families just over the years, and they've all really changed me in so many ways and helped me evolve and as a human being in so many different ways. But I will say, the first one that my father was like, oh, I really like this one. And the first one that I started getting social feedback from of, like, and I'll tell you guys in a minute what the name of this one is, but I've gotten stopped on the streets or from stewardesses on airplanes or other guys asking, like, just all these people, and they would say, hey, like, my dad has Alzheimer's and he loves Christmas, and your movie for 2 hours makes him a normal human again, and he just comes to life. And so thank you for bringing my dad back to me for that period of time as we watch your movie. And the movie is called The Prince and Pauper Christmas. And it's just a fun, silly movie. And I played twins and who switch places, and so technically it was a very interesting thing for me. But it was the first movie where, especially for Christmas, especially for a movie of the week, especially for some of these movies that kind of get tossed to the wayside a little bit after it's done, after it's aired, doesn't get the glit and glamour of like Hollywood lifestyle or things like that. We make a movie and then we just kind of walk away and we go back to our regular life and pray for the next one.
Yellow. Grady, is that you?
Yeah?
But you sound different.
Sorry, I have food in my mouth.
Okay, right. Listen, I only have a moment. I've met an American. Her name is Sydney.
Did you say Sydney?
Yes, she's an FBI agent, and I'm assisting her with a bit of a ruse. We're going undercover at a Christmas party tonight, so I have no idea what time I'll be back.
Don't worry. Take your time.
Wonderful. Oh, also, you should know, the person I'm impersonating, he stole my watch just in case you try to run the tracker.
Oh, good to know.
Good. Oh, I'm gonna need a suit and some toiletries so I can get cleaned up.
Your Highness, your bag, it was lost.
It was?
They said you could get everything you need at the gift shop downstairs.
Grady, good thinking.
Have fun.
Right, cheerio.
I think Grady's a gift shop.
But this one, people will recognize me, probably because I play two characters. It's a lot of me. But the response of how it brings joy to them. So I think that's been one of the movies that really sticks out for me.
It goes back to holiday films. See, that's why I love Christmas films. Christmas films, they're so uplifting and so filled with joy. I mean, just like the season. I mean, have you noticed that people are usually like nicer during Christmas? I don't know.
It's my experience, even though during the comedies, they say otherwise.
Is that right?
Yeah.
I don't know. There's something about just holiday films. I love watching holiday films. I mean, you know, they bring just so much happiness and joy. You know, yes, I love all the other stuff because I have to watch it and program it and book it for other festivals and just stuff like that. But there's something to be said for the films that you make a lot of them too.
Yeah, yeah. No, I love it. I love it. Christmas is such a fantastic time of year, and to be able to be a part of somebody's Christmas tradition every year. I mean,
there's probably people who are right now have you on their queue to watch you like every Christmas.
Yeah. No, it's
have
an
you
amazing...
heard people like fans? People tell you like, oh, I watch your movies every Christmas,
year,
or they're looking forward to whatever Christmas, whatever film you're going to be making.
Yeah. No, it's phenomenal. Like it really has become something. It's become something that I was not anticipating. So it's a very fun world to be a part of.
All right, so Jonathan, you want to give our folks any last closing words, as into you hold just kind of, you want to encapsulate your Hollywood experience to date, if you had to put it in one capsule, in a pill for somebody to take.
So with all due respect to everybody out there, and in the most positive way possible, it's going to be harder than you think, and that's okay. Just take a breath and do one foot in front of the other, one day at a time. Really appreciate and love yourself. Journal, fine-tune yourself, know where you're going. It's like getting in a car. You're gonna turn on maps. Even if you know how to get there, chances are you're turning on maps in case you have to detour. So turn on the map of your life every single day. And if you do that, and you stay, and you don't quit this business, you're gonna be successful. It's inevitable.
Folks, that's some great advice. This has been a wonderful talk. For those of you who are starting, for those of you who are going through it, for those of you who have reached a standstill and don't know if to continue or not, there's some great words of wisdom here to be said of somebody who's actually doing it and making a lot of it, because he has like all this body of work in such a short period of time. And is still doing it. So with that, we want to thank you, Jonathan.
Thank you.
For joining our podcast. It took me a while to get him because for the same reason he's been working, which is a good thing. Here. And he's going back to work now in Canada. And we really, really wish you luck for everything you've been doing. And you know, I'm following up with you. So hopefully we'll have him in the future when he's got time to come back and see us and give us more good news. And in the meantime, stay tuned for this for all of our other episodes that are coming. Subscribe. Jorge Ameer at Ovation, Hollywood at Ovation with Jorge Ameer. And thank you for tuning in, and have a wonderful, pleasant day, week, and the rest of the year, because we're right now tailgating towards the end of 2025 rather quickly.
And sneaking up.
And there's a lot of Christmas films coming up too, so make sure to check out his Christmas films. Thank you.